Fake it until you make it doesn't sound like a bad idea to some, but I'm here to tell you why it could be just the worst decision in your life. So stay tuned until after the music. You're about to listen to a great episode of the Laz and B Experience podcast. Within this episode, my hope is that you obtain something that will help you find your success. So grab a pen, get your paper, your favorite snack or drink, and really listen to what I have to say. I truly believe it can be what you need to get you to your next level in life. So grab a seat and enjoy the ride, and I'll see you on the other side. Welcome back to another episode of the Laz and B Experience podcast. Thank you all for tuning in. This is going to be yet another great episode to help you along your journey to your success. And with that, I am going to be talking about what I refer to it as the honest effect. And I say honest effect, or I call it the honest effect, because I feel like it is better for you and for your success to be honest and confident about your abilities when it comes to new opportunities and career opportunities than it is to fake it until you make it. And I'm going to give you those reasons why throughout this episode. But before I get into this episode, I have my story time I would like to share with you guys. So at my current job, one thing I made sure I was going to do up front is to be honest about everything. Not that I was this honest with my other jobs and internships that I've had in the past, but there were some times where I might have not said something when I probably should have said something. So from the interview on, I made sure they knew who exactly they were hiring. From me still being a college student and working towards my bachelor's degree in electrical engineering, to me not having a lot of experience with that position that they were hiring for. And I actually think that was one of the reasons why they wanted me and why I'm still there. Now, being in the position now for over 2 years, I'm still that honest person, which helped me eventually get a raise at one point. Now, a quick side story about that. I was offered another position doing the same or something very similar to what I'm doing at my current job. And then I just came up to my supervisor and I basically let him know I was offered another position. And if they wanted to keep me, I would need a raise. Of course, I said it in a more professional way, but that was the gist of it. And boom, I was given a raise. Now, I also make sure they know what I don't know or understand, or when I don't know or understand something and need extra help. Now, for some people, they might be afraid to ask questions or let their supervisor know that they don't know something because they don't want to look stupid or feel like they might get replaced or fired. But for me, where I am in my life right now, I just want to make sure I'm still learning and growing in every aspect of my life, including my career. Also, it might be that my supervisor did want to replace me for not knowing something. I am very confident in my abilities to find something new, and not just something new, but something that I want to do and not just another job to pay the bills. And hopefully within this episode, I can help you feel the same way. So I don't know if you can tell by my title or the intro or even my story time, but what I want to talk about today is how being completely truthful and honest is very important when it comes to getting new opportunities, especially when it comes to your career or passion. Now, some people may say the opposite, into fake it until you make it, which may work for some people. But the thing is, if it doesn't work, it can really backfire and put you in a worse position than you were before. Now, I'm not saying to be less confident or to not go after your big goals or dreams or to apply to that position that you really want. I just believe when doing so, make sure you're being honest about your skills and abilities, of course, confidently, and give them the real you. And here are my reasons why. Now, my first reason, and I kind of just said it. You don't know when faking it is going to backfire. While faking it may potentially get you somewhere, once you can't fake it anymore or someone finds out that you're faking it, you could lose your credibility and end up worse than you actually started. Now, it also becomes a thing trying to remember what you said you could or couldn't do. Being honest and confident about the things that you can and can't do, and being open to learning new things will put you in a position to never have to fake it for anyone or for any position ever. And if you feel the urge to fake it, take it as a sign that you're either not ready for that opportunity or to start working on the skills necessary to be ready for that opportunity. Again, I'm not saying you shouldn't go after something you might not be qualified for. I'm saying don't lie about it or fake it to get there. Now, another reason to stay honest in everything you do is you will have less stress trying to live up to something that you're not. Now, when you're trying to be someone you're not or not yet, it can cause you to have a lot of stress and anxiety. You become afraid to ask for help because they think you should already know how to do the work. And then as the work piles on or get more difficult, you dig yourself into an even more bigger hole that you don't know how to get out of. So again, being honest from the jump can alleviate you from becoming stressed and afraid to ask for help or guidance when you need it. Now, one of the biggest reasons to stay honest is it allows you to have more room and easier path to growth. Being presented with an opportunity you want but don't have the skills for, you should be honest about it, but also show that you're interested and willing to learn. Now, this will give the people or the person giving the opportunity two choices: to either not give you the opportunity, or they can give you the opportunity knowing you will need to be trained to do the job well. Now, this in turn will get you to either have to look for another opportunity that's really for you, or give you the chance to make mistakes without worry or stress and be able to grow from the experience. While if you lie about having a skill needed for an opportunity you want and they actually give you that position or give you a chance, you now have to learn a new skill as quickly as possible with little to no help, and you might not be given the same grace when making mistakes, especially if it's something that you're expected to know with having the skill or the abilities that you said that you have. Now, this kind of brings me to my next point, which is people will want to work with you more often than not if you're honest about your abilities. Now, being honest says a lot about your character, especially when it might seem hard or even seems easier to just lie. Now, I said this before. As soon as someone finds out that you're lying or faking it, you lose a lot of credibility, which can make it even harder for you to be successful in that area and to gain back your credibility. Now, in the end, people only want to work with people they can trust and people who are honest about themselves and their abilities. It's going to be hard, or it is hard, to build a successful team, whether you're an entrepreneur or you work for a company, if your teammates say that they are good at X, Y, and Z, but honestly they don't know anything about X, Y, and Z, and only said they know something about X, Y, and Z so they can be a part of the team. Now, that not only ruins your chances of being a part of that team, but potentially any other team those people may have connections with. Now, my last point I want to make is being honest may push you away from opportunities you're not ready for. Now, it may seem bad, or it may seem like a bad thing to be pushed away from opportunities, but if you get to something before you're ready for it, you could potentially put yourself further behind. Now, of course, there's the argument that it could push you to new heights you never thought you could achieve. But my counter argument would be that you really were ready for the opportunity. You just didn't know that at the time when you first started. Now, being pushed away from one opportunity could also be pulling you towards another one that you are ready for. And to clarify, when I say ready for, I don't just mean everything comes to you easily and you know everything. To me, that just makes it more boring, or make things more boring. Now, when I say ready for, I mean that you're being challenged enough and getting pushed out of your comfort zone just enough to continue your growth within that area without causing you to be stressed, overwhelmed, and burnt out. Now, being pushed away from an opportunity you're not ready for can also help you see some self-improvements you need to make, so whenever that opportunity or a similar opportunity comes around, you are ready for it. So if you get passed on an opportunity that you really wanted and you get a chance to ask those people why you got passed over, take notes, and figure out how you can get to where you want to be. The thing is, don't let being passed on one opportunity be the reason why you don't go after another one. In the end, this is a numbers game. So you can't just stop at one or two no's. Learn from your mistakes, continue improving, and never give up. Now, before I let you go, there are two last things that I want to mention. Now, the first thing is, throughout this episode, hopefully you notice how a lot of times, if not all the time, I didn't just say you need to be honest. I also threw in there that you need to be confident. If there's anything to get out of this episode, it's to be honest and confident. So don't go into that interview just being honest about what you do and don't know. Be confident in every skill that you have and show them that you're confident and willing to learn anything that's needed to be successful in that position. And then my number two thing is, as always, I have a challenge of the week I would love for you to participate in. So my challenge of the week this week is for you to find an area in your life where you might not be as honest with yourself as you should be as far as your skill level. It can be something as small as your skills playing video games, or your cooking skills, or even your singing skills. Take 2 seconds and truly be honest with yourself about the skill and what you can improve on. And then if you need help finding something, find a trusted friend or family member and listen to their opinion and see if it's something that you agree with that you can improve on. Once you have that 1 or 2 or even 3 things you need to improve on, take the first step to improving on them. It could be watching a YouTube tutorial, it can be reading a self-help book, or even getting advice from a friend or mentor. Now, I believe the first step at improving anything in your life and truly finding your success is being honest with yourself. So let's take that first step together. You never know what's going to happen. And with that, I would like to say thank you for listening to another episode of the Laz and B Experience podcast. I hope you was able to gain something from it to help you along your journey. If you like what you heard today, please like, share, comment, and subscribe so I can know that you're listening and enjoying the content. If you have any questions, comments, topic ideas, or even guest ideas, please don't hesitate to email me at lazandbeexperience@gmail.com. Remember, also seasons 1 and 2 are also available on all platforms you listen to podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and pretty much anywhere else you listen to podcasts at the Laz and B Experience podcast. Lastly, for the readers, I have a blog that covers every individual episode topic that is covered this season, which can be found at lazandbeexperience.wordpress.com. Now, within this blog, I also have articles from season 2, as well as articles from before I started a podcast. So there's a lot of content for you to read if that's what you like to do. Again, thank you for listening to another episode of the Lazenby Experience podcast. And as always, until next time, continue your journey until you reach your success. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode of the Lazenby Experience podcast. I really hope you were able to receive valuable information that will help you take actionable steps to get you closer to achieving your goals. If this is true for you, I would really appreciate it if you share this episode with others, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to continue receiving updates on new episodes. I truly am excited about how my experience, the Lazenby Experience, can make a difference in your life. Again, thank you for listening to the Lazenby Experience podcast, and until next time, continue your journey until you reach your success.